Now, Transcorp Hotels Plc, the hospitality subsidiary group of Transcorp Group, has reported a profit before tax of 4.5 billion naira, representing a 172% rise year-on-year compared to profit before tax of 1.7 billion naira in 2021. At its ninth general meeting held in Transcorp Hilton Abuja, the leading hospitality brand also reported a 47% growth in revenue to 31.4 billion naira in 2022. Well, let's talk to the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Transcorp Hotels Plc, Dupe Olushola. It's good to have you join the program. Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, let me say, how does it feel to have led Transcorp Hotels to another year of exceptional profitability? Tell us more about this.
I think, it feels, it feels really, really exciting. It's not what we don't take it for granted. That's the truth. Coming from the COVID pandemic, when we were actually making on a consistent basis, we were making losses. On a consistent basis, we had to kind of like look inwards. We had to let go of people. So from that point on till this point where we're now not only making profit, we've had phenomenal growth in our revenue and 172% increase in our PBT. It's really exceptional. For me, it feels really rewarding. It feels really encouraging. And for my team members as well, it's the same thing. We're really excited about it because it's been a combination of hard work, of dedication, of consistently thinking outside of the box, to constantly challenge ourselves to see what more we can do, how much more value can we add, and also just noting that beyond the figures, beyond the facts, it's also the accomplishment and the experience that we're giving to all of our customers and the value we're actually delivering to all of our shareholders makes it all worth it. So it's great time for us as a team. Great time because we're receiving great support from our board, and it's wonderful all around. But we're actually not resting on our laurels. We're definitely still challenging ourselves to be, to achieve so much more even for the next quarter and the year beyond.
Many would say it's been a challenging time. Before I go to your shares, which have grown, how did you muddle through all of these challenges to come out this good?
One, I have to definitely say I have a great team, without a doubt. It's wonderful when you're leading a team that really gets it and wants to do so much. So what we've done is we've remained innovative. Prior to the pandemic, the hotel and the hospitality business generally was very focused on, banqueting, on conferencing, on business travelers. So what we had to do was we had to step back and go back to the drawing board and say, how do we actually diversify the segment? How do we diversify the industry? And how do we make sure that we can cater and deliver much more to people, beyond their business travel or conferences? So we introduced so much in terms of leisure at the hotel. We made sure that we have wonderful assets at the hotel, actually, that prior to now, we haven't actively marketed. From our poolside to our tennis courts, to our clubs and, bars across the hotel, to the outlets. At the outlets and the restaurants, we're constantly having, theme nights, encouraging people to come. We recently, just last week, opened a spa. So we're very focused on how much more value we can deliver to all of our guests. And, even during the pandemic, we had two options: to shut down or to just be aggressive and pull in a market that we're not necessarily marketing to. So we had things like a drive-through cinema, which was never done before prior to now in Nigeria. So we're constantly challenging ourselves to just, break the barriers, think outside of the box, and just do so much more. So, those sort of things, when you put in so much effort and so much innovation to do things differently, and it pays off, it's really, really exciting for us. Really exciting for us.
Well, let's now look at the shares that have grown 38.83% over the last 1 year. Dividends of 1.3 billion naira to shareholders. What's the mood around?
The mood is completely exciting. So I've talked about my management and my board. that was, completely excited about the impact and the results. But beyond that, imagine the shareholders. The shareholders came into the AGM, not particularly, quite excited actually. But the more we spoke at the AGM, the more we talked about the dividend payout of 1.3 billion, and the more they understood and saw how their company was actually growing and how their company was also appreciative of all of their efforts and how the company was also rewarding them, it was completely exciting. It was, we moved from one shareholder praising to another. It was such an elating mood at the AGM, exciting completely for shareholders. And everyone definitely goes to their bank account and see their dividends has hit their account. So it's nice to have that, definitely nice. And I hope you're also a shareholder of Transcorp Hotels Plc as well. So you can definitely be smiling to the bank when you collect your dividends.
Well, interesting stuff there. Yeah, well, let's move on and look at this good results again. Revenue grew 47%, gross profit 41%, PBT 172%, PAT by 134%. But clearly you've explained some of this. But to you, what is the biggest hurdle to overcome in this sector?
I think the key thing is about understanding that it's a dynamic industry. The hospitality sector is constantly evolving and constantly changing. Consumer preferences is always on the change. What one customer wants is different from what another one wants. So for us, engaging with our stakeholders is really critical and it's really priority. Letting them understand the value that we deliver, letting them understand that, we embrace the change and we will always meet them at the point of need, understanding their requirements. Customer experience continues to be priority for us. And it just means that at every touch point across the hotel, we want them to know that, we are delivering exceptional service and we're also delivering innovation as well. So that is key for us. And that is, one of the key things that makes us continue to lead competition. We stay ahead of the pack because we're constantly trying to understand, we're evolving to the change, and we're delivering, adapting and delivering to those customer preferences, regardless of what they are. So we're constantly, analyzing the sectors, whether you're a guest that walks into our hospitality hotel for leisure, for business, for events, whatever it is, we strive to understand what your needs are. Because the man that walks into the hotel with his family, his needs are very different from someone that walks in and is there completely for business meetings, etc. So we're very attentive and ensuring that we do provide to everything that they require. So, it's just understanding that we adapt to the changing market conditions and adapt to, to the needs of our guests as well. So that's key. And that continues to help us be on top.
You stay ahead. But you've always also talked about your vision and, of course, big plans. Let's talk about that and what new projects we should be looking forward for.
Great times for us. 2 years ago, 2021, July, we actually launched our asset-light strategy. It's called Aura. And within that time, Aura has had a second launch, actually, where we've actually, we went back, took feedback, and then relaunched our platform as well. On Aura, it's our hospitality platform, which means that at your fingertips, you really can book to stay in any accommodation across 30 states in Nigeria right now. We've got over 5,000 accommodation on that platform, meaning a combination of hotels, short-let apartments, whatever you want actually to meet your need and whatever your budget is, you'd find it on the Aura platform. And beyond that, we also have experiences and a lot of discounts as well. So whether you're looking to go out to a restaurant, to fine dining or quick food, or just even a retreat for yourself in terms of a spa, wellness, you can actually go onto the platform and find a diversity of resources that you can pick from. And so that in itself is fantastic. So we've done that. We're so happy about that. But coming up now, we're looking at actually launching our event center in the first quarter of next year. It's a 3,500 to 5,000 capacity event center located in Abuja. this one is going to be great because, it actually provides so much in terms of facilities, in terms of, capacity to be able to house a larger size event compared to what we can do right now. So that's great. What we see increasingly is that people are traveling from all over the world, from Africa, from the US, etc., to come and have events in Nigeria. And so having something like this in Abuja is just, fantastic, because then they have the accommodation to stay in the hotel and just the event center in walking distance on the hotel premises. So that's fantastic. Also coming from us, we're closing ground on our Ikoyi Glover hotel, and this is also going to be a 5-star hotel as well. So we're tidying up on that. We recently just acquired more land, over 2,900 square meters of land recently. And so we've expanded the space. So the vision has even gotten bigger beyond where we started. We're looking to ensure that, not only are we going to be offering best-in-class restaurants and rooms, it's also going to be, the whole gamut of wellness, health and fitness, and also walking area as well within that space. So, there's just so much more coming. And we're constantly looking at how we can also expand beyond Nigeria to other areas across Africa. And this is one thing that Aura is going to help us achieve in a very quick phase as well. So it's great times ahead, truly great times for us in the company as a whole.
Well, before I let you go, Duka, let me say, a lot of headwinds, a lot of challenges at this time, and everyone is concerned, everyone is worried. Some investors are sitting on the fence, waiting for what will play out. What is your outlook for your sector and maybe the entire economy, if you don't mind dropping a word around that?
So beyond my sector, personally, honestly, I'm so optimistic about Nigeria. I am really optimistic about Nigeria. I know in your opening, you talked about all the, the slow in growth of 2.8% from the World Bank, the inflation and all of that. But I think that we're actually a resilient nation. And, also just looking at what the entrepreneurs are doing and a lot that is coming out from even the ease of doing business. I think there's so much that is coming. And I'm just very optimistic that within the next 4 years, we are actually going to see growth in Nigeria. It would be difficult. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but just going back to the nature of who we are as a people, we're resilient. We're going to look for opportunities, and investors are going to come in because once we have stability in terms of the political scene, we have so much in terms of resources and so much untapped potential in Nigeria. So much untapped potential in Nigeria that people are looking in and they're waiting for us to really regain our foothold as the giant of Africa. I am optimistic that this is going to happen, and hospitality is going to continue to lead in this area because we actually do employ a huge number of labor. And, the more people we employ, the more liquidity we create, disposable income that we're able to generate for people. And the more people can actually make investments and also buy things as well. I'm optimistic that there's going to be positive change in Nigeria, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think that it's the same narrative that you must continue to push as you engage and educate the people. It will be difficult. We all have to tighten our belts, but then again, we're all going to wade through, and we will be on the winning side. So I'm looking forward to growth in Nigeria and looking forward to things beginning to settle down for us as a nation, and us owning our place, our rightful position as the giant of Africa. We have a huge labor force. Our advantage is also our youth, and we have a dynamic youth, that are going to contribute to the workforce and going to contribute to entrepreneurship. And that is really going to be a growth and a game changer for us in Nigeria. So yes, I'm positive.
All right, then, let's leave it on that optimistic note. I must thank you so much, Dupe Olushola, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Transcorp Hotels Plc. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate this. We'll keep a tab on you and follow up on all of these figures as events unfold.
Please do. Thank you very much. Go and invest in Transcorp shares, Transcorp Hotels shares as well. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
All right, then, enjoy the rest of your day.